Hello there, Internet. I'm Richard Neal. This is my Graveyard of Terror. I can't talk today. I can't talk today. I seem to be able to talk in every other way, but I just can't talk today. Enough of that. As I was saying, I'm Richard Neal. This is my Graveyard of Derelict Technology, and I have a very interesting book, I guess, to review today. The Pocket Edition of Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. Goldberg, yes. Here's the thing about this book. This is another one of the books I purchased way back in the day before e-readers, and I purchased it because I've always wanted to be a writer, and I'm terrible at it, so I figured, hey, that looks really interesting, and how much did this cost me? $7. More than the last horrible pocketbook I bought. Interesting thing about this particular book is that, first off, it is not a book about the craft of writing. At all. There is some advice on how to use writing in terms of like a carnival setting. Like, you know, you've got the person that goes out there and does the 10-minute portrait. You've got the person that makes the cotton candy, and then let's have a booth where someone makes you a poem. Which, if you're doing a lot of what is called free writing, you may be pretty good at. Of course, this is a book about free writing, which is the actual act of sitting down and putting words on paper. Not particularly interesting words. It's just the gobbledygook in your head gets out. I say on paper because this is pre-commonality of computers. So despite the fact that I am actually in a room with 4 computers, I have this book here about free writing. I have a book here about taking a pen and putting it on paper and making a lot of words. Free writing is never mentioned in the book, but that's what this book, for the first part, is about. Now, I'm not going to say that this is a useless exercise. If you're the kind of person that just can't get words on paper, free writing is great for you. However, may I point out that the writing style of Writing Down the Bones shows that it's from a free writer. It's a lot of sprawl. It's not terribly organized, but it's, here's an experience from my life as a writer, let me give it all to you. Which again, may be considered a good thing, may be considered a bad thing. If you have a contract as a writer and you're trying to get stuff out, sprawling is good. Sprawling means you make more product. More editing tends to be involved, and a lot more rewriting, a lot more difficult rewriting in my experience. Well, that was interesting. Probably not going to be able to edit that one out. My life. My wall of derelict technology. My boring books that I took 10 years to read. Moving forward, in addition to the advice on free writing, there is a lot of biographical information in here. And in this case, it would be autobiographical because she is talking about her own life, her own experiences, and people she's met. Which again, I mean, she is an accomplished writer, a writing guru, and a teacher. So take that in mind, that this professional woman is sharing her experiences with you. If you're at the stage in your life when you want to write, you want to get things out of you, this book is probably a great book for you. If you're at the stage in life when you want to put together a comprehensive story, this book is not for you. I'm one of those people that generally believes there is someone for every book. Every book that's been published, there's someone out there who really should read it. This book was difficult to read for me. It was dense material, not very engaging, dated in its nature, and there are updated versions of this. So if this sounds interesting, if you want to hear about this woman's life, then that's great. And you know, she's written some novels. I haven't read them, but she's written more than one, so I mean, they've been published. They've let her publish more than one, so there's got to be something there. If you've read her novels and want to get closer to Natalie here, this is a great book to read. It really is. I am not familiar with her. I had to look her up. So when I was reading about this woman's life, I'm going, maybe I should read more about Stephen King, because I'd like to be his kind of success. I don't know who this person is. I've never seen a movie that came out from her work. She's not one of those names that is registered in my mind, so I was not as engaged. If you already know this woman, definitely, you know, pick this book up. You'll get closer to her as an author. Probably the updated versions. If you're not into that, nix. Now, I believe this is book number 5. Let's see. First volume in National Geographic. Quebec the Wolf Dog. Little Book of Stress. Cosmos. Yes, this is the 5th book of my Project 5000. And I've so far had one book I'm actually going to keep in my collection. That's not abnormal. One of those things you should be as a reader is someone who reads a book and then lets it free out into the world, hopefully takes it to a used bookstore so that somebody can stimulate the economy by reusing these books without killing trees. There are cats fighting outside, or perhaps mating. Yes, sounds more like mating. I'm going to have to go out there and make sure it's not one of my cats in a moment. So, I'm letting this book free. It wasn't a terrible read. It just wasn't a good read. It was a difficult read for me, and I have pledged to try and read every book I have all the way through. So, one thumb up, one thumb down. Writing down the bones. Don't write with your bones. Just remember, in the modern day, we need to save trees. And I need to go check that. Peace.